In the dimly lit pension of Madame Vauquer, in the Rue Neuve Sainte-Geneviève, the air was thick with the scent of old furniture, stale food, and forgotten lives. It was a place where time stood still, where the poor and the aging clung to existence like ivy on crumbling stone. Among the tenants, one figure stood apart, a frail, silent man with a trembling gait and hollowed cheeks, known to all as Père Goriot. Once, he had been a man of wealth and standing. A successful vermicelli maker, he had made his fortune with his own hands, amassing enough to give his daughters a place among Parisian high society. He had not hesitated, not for a moment, to strip himself of his wealth, believing that a father's duty was absolute, that love demanded sacrifice. Now, stripped of his fortune, reduced to a threadbare existence, he was mocked and pitied in equal measure.
That old fool wasted his fortune on his daughters, and what does he have to show for it? Nothing but rags and an empty stomach.
Laughter rippled through the room. Goriot did not look up. His hands, thin and trembling, remained folded in his lap. He had long since learned that there was nothing crueler than the idle gossip of those who had never known love. But when night fell, when the house sank into silence, Goriot would sit in the solitude of his attic room and take out a faded silk handkerchief. He would press it to his lips and close his eyes, as if he could still smell the perfume his daughter once wore.
If you wish to succeed in Paris, Eugène, you must play the game without scruples. Here, wealth is everything. You must be bold, ruthless.
But surely, madam, intelligence and merit count for something?
Only for those who are already rich. The rest must seize their place, or be trampled underfoot.
It was through these social circles that Eugène encountered Delphine de Nucingen, the stunning, yet bitterly dissatisfied daughter of Père Goriot. She was trapped in a loveless marriage to a wealthy banker, longing for freedom, for passion, for escape.
You must help me, Eugene. I have no one else.
But later that night, when Rastignac returned to the pension, he saw something even more desperate. Père Goriot, sitting alone in the dim candlelight, whispering his daughters' names.
My daughters are angels. They love me.
They live in luxury while you rot in this place? They do not deserve you.
No, do not say that. They have husbands, obligations. They will come to see me soon, you'll see.
But Rastignac saw the truth. The daughters he adored no longer cared for him. They took his money, let him wither in poverty, and scarcely looked back. Time passed. Goriot's health declined. His movements grew weaker, his face more sunken. But he still clung to one desperate hope, that his daughters would return to him. And when word reached them that their father was gravely ill, neither rushed to his side. Only letters arrived, polite, distant, indifferent. One evening, as Goriot lay dying in his narrow bed, gasping for breath, a single note arrived from Delphine.
Father, I regret that I cannot come today. Affairs at home require my attention. I send my regards.
The old man stared at him. His fingers clawed weakly at the blankets, his breath ragged.
They do not love me. After all I have done, they do not love me.
Tears slid down his face, but no one was there to wipe them away. And as the night deepened, he died broken, abandoned, alone. The next morning, the house was silent. No carriages lined the street. No mourning daughters arrived in black veils. Only Rastignac and a priest followed the coffin to Père Lachaise cemetery. As the gravediggers shoveled dirt over the cheap wooden box, the priest murmured,
"He was a man who loved too much."
Rastignac stood motionless, staring at the grave. The wind carried the sound of the city carriages rolling, people laughing, life continuing, untouched by the death of one forgotten man. Slowly he turned. From the heights of Père Lachaise, Paris stretched out before him, vast and glittering, indifferent and cruel.
Now it is war between us.
And with that, Eugène de Rastignac stepped forward not as a student, but as a man who had seen the price of love and the cost of ambition,